welcome to another exclusive book review. This time we are going to talk about one of the most favorite thrillers that we read a couple of months ago and it's still in our memory. That is Chapter 31 by Ashok Bhasin. Let me just give you a very basic gist of this book, okay? So it talks about the Narcotics Bureau, of course, and also about the publishing industry and government and politics. It has so many different angles. But the main thing is, imagine you're just at a bookstore and you find this book and it's about a completely different topic. And you're reading the book and the first 30 chapters are like really good and the story actually gets completed by the 30th chapter. That's a satisfying end over there. But then in the 31st chapter, there is a completely unrelated thing that happens and it seems to be factual and you are the only one who can possibly know that it's a factual real life incident because you were involved in it. There are 3 completely unrelated characters who weren't there in the first 30 chapters and they feature in that final one and one of them happened to be you. And there is no way anybody else could have known this story until and unless they were there in that room with you and you think the past is long gone, but it's back on your face and that book seems to have been written especially for you to find it. There's the premise and let's get into the book review now. So that was a very non-spoiler review of the book which I found really very interesting. We are not going to get into spoilers right now, but I'm just going to be talking about my thoughts which might contain a bunch of spoilers. If you want to go into the book completely blind, which is what I suggest you do, because this book is best enjoyed not knowing anything about it. I just saw chapter 31, I saw this mysterious, ominous cover and I was sold. I pretty much started reading. So the book is really short, I'll first give it that. And I kind of finished it in about 2 days because the chapters are also quite short and the text is also quite big. So it was a breeze getting through it, let alone the thriller that was happening, right? So it talks in depth about the narcotics as well as crime and legal bureaus because the author as well, Ashok Bhasin, is from a law background. So I guess he was able to bring in a lot of his personal experiences into the book. I really enjoyed that because it was a completely unfiltered take and I believe a lot of the incidents narrated in this book are actually fictitious versions of actual real life events. I think that is the beauty of literature, right? You get to convey the fact to the audience in the form of fiction and you can't get caught for it or you're not being too on the face about it. So that is one benefit that this book used to its advantage. I really liked how the publishing sector is spoken about in such detail with what cutthroat people are there, what's the criteria behind selecting books. There are times when there's a really good book with really good research and this could be the next big thing. But the only reason the publishing house does not choose to publish it is because they don't want it in their portfolio because it's not sensational or it doesn't have the drama or the masala or there's some other book publishing at the same time which would be a lot more sensational than this one. So there's a lot of nitty-gritties like this, internal politics and the cutthroat mindset of the people running publishing houses. All of those are covered really well and now I'm really intrigued to know what the author himself went through during the publication of his books. I think this is his 4th or 5th book right now. And I also liked how the government is depicted, be it the Narcotics Bureau or the legal system or law, everything and all the procedures, the way people think, the way everything comes together, the implications and the consequences of every action, it's been given very clearly. It's almost like you're getting an insider insight into what actually happens, how our legal system works, how everything goes on. It was like I was standing right there along with the proceedings, along with all the tests they are conducting and I really liked it. I don't know how else to say this. I really liked it and I really liked that the characters were also very well fleshed out. Like take that publishing house head for example. She is so money-minded and so cutthroat. She wants to bring her agency to the top, but at the same time, when she's alone in her personal space, she's a very romantic person. She's getting over her ex-husband. At the same time, she's still in touch with him and she's still connecting with a new person as well. She's just trying to navigate all those feelings she's having and every single character has so many layers like this and that's what I found very interesting because you might think somebody is so bossy, oh my god, she is the boss lady and everything, but when they are alone, they are actually very emotional people. They actually have a very disturbed past or they have a lot of mental health issues or you never know what somebody is going through. So I really enjoyed that. The only thing that was a problem for me in the book was we had a few Russians, we had a few US people, we had UK, we had people from all over the globe basically, including India. But I felt the author could have done a little bit more studying their culture and how they interact with each other, because all the interactions in the book, I'm not sure if even that was intentional to make it more palatable for readers, but I felt there could have been a differentiation in the way people spoke. Like, I didn't like that the Indian and the Russian spoke in the same way. They were both calling each other sir and ma'am, and they were both having kind of the same mindset, like what will the society say, what will this happen, and about politics and all that. I guess at the end of the day, humans are all animals and we all think in the same way for the same actions. But I would have liked to see a little bit of differentiation. So that's my only criticism, if at all I should give something. So that's about it from me for chapter 31. The twists and turns, 10 out of 10. And the characters very well fleshed out, the mystery going on itself, the multiple storylines and multiple points of view, and all the side stories that are going on. You kind of branch out into 5 different stories at one point. There's a political drama going on, there's the elections going on, there's this lead role who has just read the book and he's trying to figure out like how did somebody find this, and there's a chance that somebody's trying to off him, and then there's this publishing house trying to find this author and get the book published, and then there's the author with his wife, and then there's the actual person who gave him the intel on how to write the book. There are so many different perspectives, and even if you take each person, like you take this publishing house perspective, there's the publishing house, there are 4 different people within that publishing house, and each of the 4 of them start going off on their own tangents that branch out. Oh my god, guys, for a 300-page book, for a 250-page book, this covered so many directions. At the end of the day, I think it's more than a thriller, it's social commentary, and I really like that. I'm not going to say any more. I think that's my review, and do check it out. It's available on Amazon right now, and let us know in the comments if you have read it or you're eager to read it, and what's one thriller that you recently read that you really enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.